So aside from the whole Tenshin Han parts, the Tenshin Han involvement in the actual matchup, and the Universe 10 sequence with Ramush there introducing his top 10 guys, because I kind of felt that Ramush was being a little bit of a troll with Gowasu. Aside from those two things, I actually really liked this episode. We started with Piccolo pretty much telling Gohan in a very similar shot to the one that we get in the opening. He basically tells Gohan that his training with him is complete, but he has to challenge what he's learned. He actually has to put it into practice by challenging Goku. So that's how the episode starts. And look, I said this before, and this episode pretty much confirms it. Last time I was trying to rank the top 10, top 4 to me, like given everything that's happened last week and the announcement, all that stuff, you know, it's obvious to me that it's Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and Gohan. Those are the top 4. I think 17 kind of gets bumped out of the top 4. And I'm only doing that based on Gohan's frustration when Goku activates Super Saiyan Blue, and Gohan is still not happy about it. And in fact, he actually lands an uppercut. He's like, boom, he does that. And yes, it's like very, very short. Okay, it just doesn't last very long. Super Saiyan Blue versus Gohan Ultimate. But at least we can say that he was so frustrated with it that he was able to push Goku, or at least, I mean, he kept asking Goku, I want you to show me your full power. So it's not like he pushed it, he just wanted it so badly. So he goes Kaioken Blue, and so in my opinion, that's a more, like, I guess, tangible feat than what happened with 17. Just because I think the whole 17 scenario involves a lot more hypotheticals than this one. That being said, though, that's still highly debatable, I think. You know, it's not clear cut, but that's just what my thoughts are. You know, when it comes to this, Gohan like just constantly urges Goku to the point where he doesn't even go Super Saiyan 3. You know, and again, I don't think it's that Goku didn't want to. It's more of like Gohan was pushing him. Just, Dad, take me seriously. Come on, I'm waiting. Come on. By the way, they're totally even when it comes to base. So you know that was pretty clear in this episode too. Now, when it comes to Super Saiyan 2, it's kind of funny because Goku's over here, right? At least initially, Gohan's over here, but then Gohan catches up. And it's like boom, 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 boom. So you know, it's kind of like a back and forth type of deal. A great example of this is when they start throwing some blasts at each other. Gohan's blocking and just, you know, shooting these things out of the way. And actually, Goku's using them as a distraction. Gohan is so focused on blocking these blasts that he doesn't notice that Goku teleports right next to him and actually just bounces him off on the sky. And then later on, Gohan does the same thing to his old man. You know, does a couple of shots to just go boom, boom, there you go, Dad. So he kind of repays that debt. And so that's what I mean in terms of the back and forth between, you know, Gohan's ultimate mode and Goku Super Saiyan 2. And actually, now that I think about it, I think the whole using the blasts as a distraction for Gohan, I think that's something that Goku learned during his fight with skinny, thin Buu, right? Remember? Because Buu kind of did something similar.
Look at that. Look at that dialogue right there. It pretty much absolutely 100% confirms that Gohan will get a new mode, which is something that I've been pushing for. It was kind of predictable, but I mean, it's something that I wanted to happen ever since the beginning of Super. And now this pretty much confirms the fact that he's going to get a new mode. My goal is an ultimate form that no one has ever seen before. You know, these dudes are going in for real when Vegeta gets that smirk upon his face. It's like, oh wow, my Saiyan stances are tingling.
Now let me tell you something real quick, because recently there's been an ongoing debate, this back and forth, arguments about Roshi versus Tenshin Han. And understandably so, right? Because they're both bottom of the barrel. I mean, low tier fighters considering the roster that we have. And yes, it's true, Roshi really hasn't done much of anything since Dragon Ball. We get that, that's fine. You know, the DBZ gear started turning and then he just sat on the bench a lot. He watched a lot of TV. Tenshin Han, on the other hand, has gotten a little bit more spotlight, but for the most part, you know, just in general, if you take an average of the spotlight that he's had, he's looked like absolute garbage, all right? Just really, really bad, embarrassing almost. So I'm gonna tell you this, if I have two options, if it's between sitting my ass down, watching a little bit TV, and not getting involved in a fight, or if it's between getting involved in a fight and looking like absolute garbage, I'm probably gonna sit my ass down and watch some TV.
And yet, even after all that stuff, alright, Tenshin Han actually has the audacity, the balls, to tell Goku before the match even starts. He actually tells him, because it's a 2-on-2, right? You know, 2v2. He tells Goku, we have an important match coming up. Please, let's try not to injure them. Like, are you kidding me with this? Like, what? This is so bad. Oh my gosh. Just one punch from base Gohan takes care of him for a while, alright? He comes back a little bit later after he has time to recoup doing God knows what. He comes back, tries to aim the beam at Goku. Well, Goku is flying above with Gohan, so he's obviously trying to aim it at Gohan. He can't even focus the thing, alright? Then he aims at Piccolo. He's about to shoot. Gohan comes in once again and just dumps on his ass, just pushes him down. He's pretty much out of commission for the entire thing after that. And this is what I'm saying. Would it have been so bad for him to sit this one out like Roshi? You know, because look, I mean, sometimes you got to learn how to sit down, man. Like I'm telling you right now, it's like sometimes it's in your best interest to learn when to sit down.
And while all of this is going on, Piccolo's actually charging up an attack. And Gohan kind of acts like his bodyguard. He's there to grant him some cover so that people don't interfere with his charge-up time. He releases the attack, and Goku actually says that he was barely able to manage it in base form, which makes Piccolo look like, you know, pretty cool, but it also makes that Krillin fight look really bad because he actually had to go Super Saiyan to, you know, avoid getting thrown out of the platform by Krillin with those attacks. So it's kind of like, I mean... It doesn't really match. Another thing that happened in this episode was that when they were eating, Goku actually asked Master Roshi if he could train him because Roshi said, you know, there's still, you know, a couple of hours before the tournament. What are you going to do, Goku? Then obviously Gohan comes in and, you know, their schedule is full. But Goku initially says, Master Roshi, could you train me? Now, obviously this line can be misconstrued as if, like, what the hell is, like Roshi can't train Goku. I mean, in terms of level, he's just so far ahead of him, it's not even funny. But that's not really what Goku meant. And Roshi actually serves to clarify that request because he says, okay, he says, I can teach you some new attacks. And that's basically what Roshi is there for. It's not about, you know, him being more powerful than Goku. It's about, you know, amplifying Goku's arsenal and possibly teaching him new techniques that he can use in battle. So just based on that standard alone, Roshi is more valuable than Tenshin Han. You know, you know what? I'm done. I'm done talking about Tien. Screw it. At least for now anyway. For this video at least. And again, the whole scene in Universe 10, I wasn't really feeling it all that much because it kind of did feel like Ramush was introducing all this fodder, these you know, top 10 fodder characters that were going into the tournament. No, don't get me wrong, that bald guy with the protein shakes, like, they can be actually pretty badass, but I really doubt it. I do think they're going to be like scrubs. But, you know, I may be completely wrong, and hopefully, actually, I hope that I'm wrong, and they're actually really cool in the actual tournament. I like how Gowasu feels like a failure because of the Samasu thing. I thought that was a fun addition to this character, to be like, oh man, like I don't even have enough confidence to pick these guys because I picked the worst nightmare to be my apprentice, so... and also, we get to see, or hear Ramush talk, and also we get to hear his angel with the braid talk, so that was good. I just think that scene could have been better placed in another episode that was more about world building and you know, sort of like focusing on the other universes versus an episode that was dedicated to Goku fighting his son. But that's just me. As for the actual outcome of the fight, to me it made perfect sense. Obviously, Goku Kaioken Blue would be way too much for Gohan to handle, especially after training for such a short period of time, so it just makes sense. Personally, I think Goku could have stayed in Super Saiyan Blue a little bit longer, just to challenge Gohan more, despite the fact that I know that he was urging him, just, no, please, show me your true power, Dad, I'm waiting. If I were Goku, I would have been like, okay, you want to see my true power? Push me to it. Or at least push me a little bit more. But at the end, you know, both of them are satisfied, and Gohan is named the new team leader. I mean, I guess I just assumed that it would automatically be Goku by default, but no, Goku names Gohan the team leader of Universe 7. So, you know, the tournament hasn't even started yet, and I'm already getting those Cell Saga arc vibes from Goku and Gohan's relationship here, which is cool. I like that. Anyway, in the preview, there's a shot of somebody that looks like Frieza, but it's obviously Frost. First of all, he's fighting Hit, so they're in Universe 6. He's also hooded in cloak, which means he's running away from the police. And Frieza has to be revived. And, you know, if you read the spoilers, you know what's up. You know what's going to happen. You know what the whole problem with Boo is next week. So, yeah, that's what we're going to get next week. And, boy, I cannot wait for Frieza to be incorporated to see what kind of a mess this creates between these characters, man. It's going to be crazy. Hopefully it's a lot of fun. But anyway, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you did. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Catch you guys later. Thank you, guys.